The Jeff Meacham Network's Multiverse of Media. For over 15 years, the recognized symbol of excellence and the standard bearer in coverage of sports and entertainment. You ever wanted to come into a sports bar where the barkeeps know their game? Well, the Jeff Meacham Network Multiverse of Media has got a production just for you. Sit down and relax as the stat boy and his partner break down the statistics in all things sports. Whether it's football, basketball, motorsports, baseball, hockey, soccer, professional wrestling, mixed martial arts, boxing, and much, much more. All are welcome. Your barkeeps here keep you up to date and in the know of everything going on in sports, while also having a pleasant conversation about it all. Your host and owner of the bar, Stat Boy Mike. His partner in crime, Dory Lou. And a host of other guests coming in.
There you go. Hello, my internet fans. Welcome to another episode of Stat Boy Sports Bar for April 23rd, 2024. I'm glad you all could join us here on this wonderful Tuesday as we report the sports as we do each and every week. And as always, the sports bar and the stats improve are Stat Boy approved. As always, remember, if you want to get my attention and stop me dead in my tracks, super chat. It's as simple as that. And it looks like I hit the button a little too soon. No big thing. We'll just move on from there. As always, we start our show with one of the oldest games in the world, and that, of course, is golf. And this weekend, there were two tournaments, the RBC Heritage in Hilton Head Island, South Carolina, and the Corrales Punta Cana Championship in Punta Cana, Dominican Republic. The RBC Heritage was won by Scotty Scheffler, who won back-to-back after he won the Masters tournament last week. So the green jacket wasn't good enough. This tournament, he got a plaid jacket to go along with his green jacket. He easily won by 3 strokes after shooting a 3 under 68 to win his 10th career title on the PGA Tour, and he has won his 4 out of his last 5 starts. And some critics and some analysts and some sports writers are saying he's very similar to one Tiger Woods. Also, the Billy Horschel ran on 4 straight birdies on the front 9 to get into the mix and pull away with an eagle on the par 5 12th hole and closed with a 9 under 63 for a 2-shot victory in the Corrales Punta Cana Championship. This was his this season and his 8th title in his career. Of course, all golfers are to participate in the FedEx Cup standings. And Scotty Scheffler is just running away with everything. He has nearly a 2,000-point lead, if not more, just a little bit under 2,000 points. He still is number 1 overall. He's number 1 in the FedEx Cup standings. Remember, the top 70 qualify for the first round of the FedEx Cup Championship. It's a 3-tournament series. The FedEx Cup Championship, the BMW Championship, and the St. Jude Championship all take place at the end of the year. Wyndham Clark is at 1892, Xander Schauffele is at 1530, Sahith Theegala at 1518, Ludwig Gobert at 1510, Hideki Matsuyama at 1325, Chris Kirk at 11.98, Matthew Pavon at 11.39, Bjorn Hun An at 10.67, and Patrick Cantlay rounds out the top 10 at 10 at 10.54. Coming up next, and let me quickly bring up the PGAtour.com website and get their schedule up, because coming up this weekend is the Zurich Classic of New Orleans in Avondale, Louisiana, April 25th through April 28th. The purse is $3.6 million. Excuse me, no, $8.9 million, $3.6 million to the winner. And of course, 500 points in the FedEx Cup Championship to the winner. Nick Hardy is the defending champion of last year. All righty, moving on. Let's take a look at the PGA Tour summary. There's Scotty Scheffler doing back-to-back with the Masters and the RBC. Billy Horschel joins the list. And of course, Scotty won the Arnold Palmer Invitational and the Players' Championship. Over on the ladies' side in the LPGA, another win for Nelly Korda. This is her 5th win in 5 starts. Now, this does not mean that she's won 5 tournaments in a row. It's just that in the 5 that she started at in the first round, she's ended up winning. So she does have a win streak. The Chevron Championship took place in the Woodlands, Texas. And the story reads, she wins again. It's her 5th straight victory in 5 starts after winning the Chevron Championship by recording a 3 under 69 and a 13 under 275, earning her $1.2 million. Nelly jumped into the lake by the 18 friends and family by doing a cannonball. That's why she's wearing a robe with her championship cup. There's a lake there, or a water hazard, and she decided to celebrate, and she just jumped right in with a cannonball. Unfortunately, her streak could have continued in the JM Eagle Championship, which is coming up out in Los Angeles, but she released a statement, and this is legit, saying that she's very happy with her performances, but the strain of winning 5 tournaments in so little time has made her physically exhausted, and she is looking forward to playing in the Cognizant Founders Cup in New Jersey coming up in 2 weeks. So she deserves a break. You know, you play a lot and you win a lot. So she's decided to step back a little bit and just take a break, skipping the tournament. She's well ahead in the standings in the race to the CM Globe. She has at 2,702 points. Lydia Ko is at 1142. Brooke M. Henderson's at 914. Ayaka Fiore at 779. Maya Stark, she is new to the top 10 at 779. Se-Young Kim at 644. Patty Tavanatanikit at 623. Sarah Schmezel at 576. Hannah Green at 545. And Leona McGuire rounds out the top 10. So congratulations to Nelly. You've earned your break. You deserve it. Absolutely, indeed. All right, moving on to tennis. We had 3 tournaments this past weekend. The Barcelona Open in Barcelona, Spain, the BMW Open in Munich, Germany, and the Tiriac Open in Bucharest, Romania. Casper Ruud got a little bit of revenge against Stefanos Tsitsipas in the Barcelona Open. The pair faced each other last week, of course, in the Monte Carlo Open, but this time Casper wins in straight sets. Stefanos did have a 10-match win streak going on. It would have been 11, but Casper Ruud said, no, that's not going to happen. And so Casper wins his 11th title and his first this year. We had Jean-Leonard Struff of Germany. He won his first title in his career after winning the Munich Open in his home country. He defeated Taylor Fritz in straight sets. And Hungarian player Marton. I'm sorry, I should have learned how to pronounce your name. Fusakovics, Fucsovics. I should have learned how to pronounce your name. I do apologize. He won his second title in his career and his first this year by winning the Tiriac Open. Remember, the men and the ladies play in the ATP and WTA finals at the end of the season. The top 8 get in. Jannik Sinner still leads at 4,310 points. Daniil Medvedev at 2,660. Casper Ruud at 2,285. Alexander Zverev at 1,995. Stefanos Tsitsipas at 1,865. Even though he lost, he still got a good amount of points. So he's in 5th place. Alex de Minaur at 1,755. Carlos Alcaraz at 1,710. And Gregor Dimitrov at 1,575. Excuse me. The ladies played this weekend as well in 3 tournaments. The Porsche Tennis Grand Prix in Stuttgart, Germany, won by Elena Rybakina. The Jerez Ladies Open in Jerez, Portugal, won by Susan Lemens. And the Open Camp Finances Rouen Metropole in Rouen, France, won by Sloane Stevens. Congratulations to all 3 ladies on winning your tournaments. Iga Swiatek now has a little bit less than a 200-point lead over Elena Rybakina. So coming up, they are playing. The men are playing in Madrid, I believe. It's either Madrid or Munich. I didn't get that information. I'm not certain where the ladies are, but they do have some tournaments coming up as well. So we could have a new number 1 seed, but not a number 1 seed overall. That still belongs to Iga Swiatek. Arna Sabalenka at 26-28, Danielle Collins at 20-22, Coco Gauff at 18-73, Qinwen Zhang 18-45, Marta Kostyuk at 16-75, and Jasmine Paolini at 15-80. Talladega Speedway had the NASCAR Cup Series this week, the Geico 500. Your winner was Tyler Reddick in his number 45 Toyota for 23XI Racing, which of course is by the GOAT, Michael Jordan. In his post-race interview and victory speech, he compared NASCAR to winning an NBA series. We'll get into that in just a second. Brad Keselowski took second place in back-to-back races in his number 6 Ford for RFK Racing. Noah Gragson took third in his number 10 Ford for Stewart-Haas Racing. Ricky Stenhouse. I have to apologize to Ricky Stenhouse because I believe in the past 3 years or 4 years I've been doing this show, I might have said Ricky Steinhaus, and that is incorrect. It's Ricky Stenhouse. In his number 47 Chevrolet for JTG Dowdy Racing. Alex Bowman in his number 48 Chevrolet for Hendricks Motorsports took 5th. Anthony Alfredo in his Chevrolet for Beard Motorsports. Normally he drives in the Xfinity Series, but he came into this race. William Byron in his number 24 Chevrolet at Hendricks Motorsports. Todd Gillian in his number 38 Ford for Front Row Motorsports. Daniel Hemrick took 9th in his Chevrolet for College Racing. And Harrison Burton rounds out the top 10 in his number 21 Ford for Wood Brother Racings. Not much of a change in the standings. Kyle Larson is still the number 1 racer, followed by Martin Truex Jr., Chase Elliott, and William Byron, 15 at -15, -22, and -24. Tyler Reddick, Denny Hamlin, Ryan Blaney, and Ty Gibbs, they round out the top 8. Ross Chastain, Alex Bowman, Bubba Wallace, and Chase Briscoe are in the top 12, and Christopher Bell, Brad Keselowski, Joey Logano, and Chris Boucher round out the top 16. Kyle Busch is 17th, so an extra few stage points and a possible win will put him back into the top 16, which is where you want to be when the end of the season comes for NASCAR. Remember, it's the top 16 to get in. In the Xfinity race at Talladega, Jesse Love in his number 2 Chevrolet for RCR took the checkered flag. Riley Erst in his 98 Ford for Stewart-Haas Racing took 2nd. There's Anthony Alfredo in his number 5 Chevrolet for R Motorsports taking 3rd. Leland Honeyman in his number 42 Chevrolet for Young Motorsports took 4th. Brendan Poole in his Chevrolet took 5th. For Alpha Prime Racing, Sheldon Creed 6th in his Toyota for Joe Gibbs Racing. Cesar Baccarella in his Chevrolet for Alpha Prime Racing, teammates with Brendan Poole. Matt Benedetto in his number 38 Ford for Viking Racing through RSS Racing. It's a kind of like a dual sponsorship. So he is racing from Viking, but Viking has some kind of a deal with RSS. So there's that. Jeb Burton in his number 27 Chevrolet for Jordan Anderson Racing, and Cole Custer in the double-aught Ford for Stuart Haas Racing. Again, no major changes. Chandler Smith is still your leader at 357. Cole Custer's behind him, minus 14 down. Austin Hill is 16 down. And then Jesse Love, Justin Allgaier, Riley Hurst at 41, 79, and 85 down. AJ Elmendinger at 96 down. Sammy Smith, Parker Kligerman, Sheldon Creed, Ryan Sieg, and Anthony Alfredo round out the top 12. Over here on the Roku, we're getting ready to watch Minnesota take on Phoenix in Game 2. The UFL, the Birmingham Stallions, they defeated the DC Defenders 20-18 in their most latest game. The St. Louis Battlehawks and the San Antonio Brahmas are both 3-1. The Battlehawks beat the Showboats 32-17. The Brahmas beat the Panthers 19-9. The Panthers are 2-2, and the Defenders are 2-2. The Houston Rednecks are 1-3. They just got their first game. They defeated the Renegades 17-9. Unfortunately, the Renegades have not won a game all season. And I believe the playoffs is going to be very simple since it's only the 8 teams. I think it's going to be another XFL versus USFL. The winners of the conference join up and go against each other in the UFL championship match. All right, the NBA playoffs are getting ready to tip off again at 7:30. Again, the Timberwolves take on the Suns in Game 2. This is what's been happening so far. Boston and Miami had their first game. Boston won 114-94. The Cavs and the Magic have played 2 games. Cleveland is up 2-0. They won 97-83 and 96-86. The Bucks easily beat the Pacers in their game 1, 109-94. The Knicks beat the 76ers twice, 111-104 and 104-101. In the West, the Oklahoma City Thunder beat the New Orleans Pelicans by a basket, 94-92. The Clippers beat the Mavericks 109-97. The Timberwolves did the best so far. They have scored the most points so far in the playoffs at 120 against the Suns. And then there's the big story. The defending champions have beaten the Lakers twice, 114-103 and then 101-99. Now, in Game 1, the Lakers were doing well in the first half, and at one point they had a 13-point lead. Then about midway through the third quarter, Denver just turned on the afterburners, and they were just shooting like crazy. They were making all their baskets. LA was getting sloppy. And there's your result. They win by 11 points. Now, no secret, how I feel about LeBron James. I've said many times I believe he's overrated. The media people are saying he doesn't have a lot of time left, that he's 39 years old. He's in his 21st season. It's been an excellent career. You want to go out on top. That's for certain. You want to win. I get it. But in some cases, especially in wrestling, it's okay to lose and pass the torch to somebody else. So, does he want to win another title? Yes. To say he's running out of time starts the clicking in the head, in the back of the head. Does he want to say the most devastating R word in sports? Retirement. Does he want to hang up his sneakers? Does he want to hang up his jersey? Do they want to put another jersey in the rafters of Crypto Comma, which will always be Staples Center to me, no matter what? In Game 2, where the Lakers lost by a basket, it looked to be a back and forth matchup towards the end. And then, of course, it was just the last second shot. That is how a basketball game should be. The teams should go back and forth, especially in the playoffs. That's my personal opinion. You want a good game. You don't want a blowout. You don't want to, unless you just are a super fan and you really want your team to just dominate, which is okay as well too. It just depends on how you feel about the team. Like I said, Minnesota, 120 points. So far, they're the best. 95 points given up. Let me quickly look at that again. Actually, the Magic did the work, only putting up 83 points, but winning by 25 points is an accomplishment in itself. So game 2 is getting ready to start for Minnesota and Phoenix. More than likely, I'll be keeping an eye on that game. Then an hour later, if you have NBA TV, the Pacers take on the Bucks. The Bucks are up 1-0 in that series. And then later tonight in the late game, the Mavericks take on the Clippers at 10 o'clock Eastern, 7 o'clock Pacific. That follows the game on TNT right now. Also, Caitlin Clark is in the news again after being chosen number 1 in the draft last week, the WNBA. A report has come out, and this is through ESPN and the Associated Press. Caitlin Clark appears to be on the cusp of setting another record. The most prolific scorer in NCAA Division I history and the number 1 pick in the WNBA draft will continue her association with Nike by signing a $28 contract that spans 8 years and includes a signature shoe. The Wall Street Journal and The Athletic reported the pending deal, citing unnamed people familiar with the negotiations between the sportswear giant and Clark's agents. Excel Sports Management represents Clark, and Nike did not immediately respond to requests for comment from the Associated Press. Clark's initial name, image, and likeness deal, signed in 2022, expired at the end of the 2023-2024 college season. The new deal would be the richest sponsorship contract for a women's basketball player. Under Armour and Adidas also participated in contract discussions with Clark's team in February. According to the Wall Street Journal and The Athletic, Puma also showed some interest when told that the bidding war would start at $3 million per year. Clark received offers of $16 million over 4 years from Under Armour and $6 million over 4 years from Adidas, with both including a signature shoe. She earned about $3 million in NIL money, that's name, image, and likeness, at Iowa with deals she has had with State Farm, Gatorade, and others. Her agents were working on the new Nike contract before she announced she would turn pro instead of returning to Iowa for a 5th season under the COVID-19 exemption offered to players in college during the pandemic. After averaging 31.6 points and leading the Hawkeyes to a 2nd straight national game, she was drafted number 1 by the Indiana Fever on April 15th, and she will earn $76,000 salary as a rookie. So congratulations on that. 26 million or 28 million? $28 million. That is some money, folks. $28 million Nike, and you get a signature shoe. The last time I was cool with a pair of shoes was in middle school. If you remember, pumps. We're not talking ladies' pumps. We're talking the basketball shoe that you could pump up and inflate that would help you play basketball a little more. $28 million for shoes. Outstanding indeed. So congratulations on that one. Alrighty. I did not get a chance to do I did not produce the graphic for baseball. So I will quickly rattle off the standings in baseball. Your American East Division division leaders are the Baltimore Orioles at 15-7. They are currently on a 3-game win streak. The AL Central are the Cleveland Guardians. They also have the best record in the league at 16-6. They are on a 4-game win streak. The AL West is the Texas Rangers. They are at 12-11. They just broke a losing so far. The National League East is being led by the Atlanta Braves at 15-6. They just snapped a losing streak as well. The Philadelphia Phillies are at 15-8. They're on a 7-game win streak. The NL Central goes to the Milwaukee Brewers. They are 14-7. They just had a win streak snapped. And the NL West, of course, is being led by Dodger Blue at 13-11. They just had a streak snapped as well. Before we go into talking some hockey, as always, it's becoming a tradition on Stat Boy Sports Bar. So we are going to play the traditional. Oh, it's not there. Or can it? Okay. No, we're not. I don't think that's the. I didn't check that. So I'm not going to go ahead and do the trailer because I think that's the one that might get us dinged. So going into women's hockey, I will bring that up. As you can see, the team from Toronto is highlighted in yellow. That means they have clinched one of the first 4 playoff spots at 38 points. Montreal and Minnesota have switched places. It goes by, I'm not sure what the tiebreaker is. They both have 35 points, but Montreal is ranked higher in the standings. Ottawa is at 30 points, and Boston and New York are at 28 and 20. The season is winding down. I believe it is a 32-game season, and they're at 21 games. And last but not least, hockey is going on. These are your updates as what's going on in hockey for the hockey playoffs. Let's bring that over there. And let's see what's going on right now. Currently, the Capitals and the Rangers are tied with 1. Their game has just started. The Lightning and the Panthers are getting ready to start literally within a few minutes. Capitals and Rangers are on ESPN. Panthers and Lightning are on ESPN2. Then the Avalanche take on the Jets tonight. And the late game on ESPN2, the Predators take on the Canucks. So far, the Panthers and the Lightning, which is the Battle of Florida. Florida won game 1, 3-2, so they're up 1-0. The Bruins and the Maple Leafs are even at 1-1. Boston won game 1, 5-1. The Maple Leafs won game 2, so that series is at least going to go to a game 5. Again, the Rangers and the Capitals are tied 1-1 in game 2. The Rangers are up 1-0. And the Hurricanes and the Islanders, the Hurricanes are up 2-0 in their series. The Hurricanes won 3-1 and 5-3. In the West, the defending champion Vegas Golden Knights won game 1. They beat the Dallas Stars 4-3. The Jets beat the Avalanche in the highest scoring game so far in this series. 13 goals were scored. The Jets ended up winning 7-6. The Canucks beat the Predators 4-2, and the Kings 7-4. Going in the final games of yesterday and Sunday, the home teams were perfect, 6-0. Vegas broke that streak when they beat Dallas. Dallas is the home team. Vegas is the wild card. And Edmonton, of course, defeated LA 7-4. So the home teams now have a record of 7-1 so far. So if you're at home, you have a better chance of winning, apparently. Not sure when the last time, all the home teams won, but an 8-0 start, that would have been a little more impressive than 7-1. The 1-1. And finally, have a Stat Boy shout out. There. This is Macy Ross, and she is a friend of the Cleveland Combatant. And as you can see on her Instagram account, she is filled with gratitude as she joins the 2024 Tennessee Titans cheerleaders. I can't wait to see what this upcoming season has in store. God is so good. Hashtag Titan Up. If you do go to the Tennessee Titan website, there is a roster reveal with all the ladies and the guys doing their cheerleading motion shots with the hair flips and all that. All the ladies, congratulations on becoming Tennessee Titans cheerleaders. And hopefully the plan is this season, when the Vikings come to town, that Dory Lou and I will be planning a trip out to Nashville. And hopefully we'll get to, get some pictures or whatever and Macy and say, hey, I gave you a shout out on my show. So I can't wait for that to happen. Of course, we're still waiting for the schedules to be released, but that is going to take place hopefully after this takes place. The NFL draft coming up this Thursday, April 25th. Now, the draft starts at 8 o'clock, but my live coverage starts at 7:30. I'm going to give you guys like a 30-minute, kind of like a draft 101, how it all is going to work, what's going to happen. This is for like if you've never watched the NFL draft on television. So that's what's coming up in 2 days, 48 hours. Where's everybody going to go and who's going to get what? Also, if you are on FanDuel, which I am, again, if you want information on FanDuel, hit me up on social media and I can give you all the information. There is a free contest. It is absolutely free to join. They put out 10 questions similar to the pick'ems that I used to do and that I will be doing with football games. So let's bring out the cell phone, the stat phone 12,000, if that's what we want to call it, I guess. And they put out 10 questions. And based on your predictions, you can win a prize pool or a part of a prize pool of $20,000. It is free to join. You don't have to put any money in. It's free to play. You obviously you do need a FanDuel account, of course. But we'll just quickly bring this up, and then we'll get out of here so we can all enjoy basketball. It's a quick show today. It's a very quick show today, but at least it's a good show. And it's a better planned show, except for what happened in the beginning, of course. So let me bring this up. Here it comes. Down. Okay. That's it. There are currently 51,596 entries on this. It's called the FanDuel. And the first question is, who will be picked first in the 2024 NFL draft? More than likely, it's going to be Caleb Williams of USC. He's going to go to Chicago. That is the prediction. That is, he's the top guy. He's the top recruit from college football. More than likely, that's going to happen. Who will be the number 2 overall pick? My choice is J.J. McCarthy. The next question is, how many quarterbacks will be drafted in the first round? I always feel that when it comes time to draft, quarterbacks should be the top of the list. So I said 7+. There will be 32 picks in the draft. So I'm guessing 7 of them will be quarterbacks. Will there be a trade involving the top 5 picks? No. That can happen, though. There can be a last-minute trade. The owner can verbally go to another owner and say, "Hey, I want to offer a trade for your pick. I'll give you this guy and whatnot." It could possibly happen, but not in the first top 5 picks. No, I don't think that's going to happen. Who will be the first defensive player selected? I went with La'atu Latu. Or La'atu Latu. I went with the Samoan dynasty thing. I'm guessing that Marvin Harrison Jr. will be the first wide receiver drafted first. They said, will a running back be drafted in the first round? I have said yes. I believe it should go quarterbacks, wide receivers, running backs in that order. Do your tight ends, then you do your defensemen. Will an offensive be selected in the top 10? That's going to be later. That's going to be much later in the draft. And will the last pick of the first round be offensive or defensive? I guessed offensive. So whoever does the best gets a $5,000 prize, apparently. So we'll see what happens with that. That comes up again 30 to give thoughts and predictions and analysis and top players. That way you get a heads up as to what goes on in the NFL draft. Then right at 8 o'clock, I turn my focus here to the Roku TV, and I'll be watching it live. And as it happens live, I'll give my analysis and announce it along with everybody else in the sports world. That's going to wrap it up for this episode. It was a quick episode. It was a much prepared episode, and basketball is starting soon. So gotta see what's that. And of course, the NHL playoffs are happening as well too. So we'll see with that. So please, I ask everybody to check us out again Thursday at 7:30 p.m. Eastern, 4:30 Pacific. And watch our coverage of the NFL Draft 2024. It's the first time I'm doing this to get the watch-alongs in the sporting world going. Also, next week, I have 3 days off, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So those 3 days, I'm going to do a lot of rehearsing for the NBA playoffs and the NHL playoffs. That's going to be my plan because I want to do watch-alongs for the NBA finals. We still have to fine-tweak the scheduling and see what happens there because, of course, the playoffs could end in as little as 4 games or they could go as full as 7. So got to be prepared for that. If you remember, we did a pretty good job on the Super Bowl coverage, so I want to keep that going. In the meantime, friends, be good to each other, be safe to each other, love each other, be positive toward each other. Follow me on Twitter at LBStatKid1977. Follow me on Instagram at StatBoy13. Use the hashtag StatBoyApproved. And all I can say is thank you very much, and I will see you all on Thursday. I love you all, friends. Have a great day. Enjoy the playoffs. Statboy out.
The Jeff Meacham Network's Multiverse of Media. For over 15 years, the recognized symbol of excellence and the standard bearer in coverage of sports and entertainment.